Hello, welcome back for part 2 of our Cove playthrough, where we have taken out one of our 5 opponents, and we are still some way off actually finishing off building up our Cove town, but we have made a pretty good start, and we are just finishing up turn 5 of week 2, and we're going to start by just taking the units off Jeremy, split these a little bit more, and we're going to go and open up the Alchemist Lab. And then we're going to go to the west, and we're going to try and pick up the Sulfur Dune. I think this should do, it shouldn't be such a tough fight. We're not going to have the best cannon on this hero, but still, I think we can do this pretty much with no losses. Okay, they come forward, they do go for those, and we do take 2 losses, but that's okay. We can't really block everything at once. We're going to go to the west, as I said, we're going to take on the rogues, and then next turn we're going to try to come back and pass the units back to Jeremy, and push through the steel golems, and see what awaits on the other side. And then back in this town, we're going to go for the upgraded nest, because it doesn't cost too many resources that we're actually struggling for, and we don't yet have any Stormbirds or Acids, so we might as well just go straight to Acids, and we can then pass them over pretty much as soon as we like. And I think that's all fine for this turn, so let's just end the turn, see what happens. Okay, no sign of anyone, so we should be safe just to go on and take on the rogues. 1 loss expected. I feel like we might be able to avoid this. I'm gonna see if I can try and keep my seamen slightly safer this time, or my crewmates even. I suspect it doesn't really make a difference either way, no matter how we set them up. As none of these get morale, which is good. And I'm pretty sure these guys, yeah, they can't yet reach us, so we should be pretty safe. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to claim the Sulfur Dune, and I do have to be a little bit precious about my movement points. I can't really go too far, in fact. This is not really far enough for my liking. I'm going to have to take a slight detour. What I could do is, I could go for the churchyard on my way through, but on the other hand, that means we can't go to the well, and I definitely want to recharge my spell points, so gonna have to figure something out here. I wasn't sure if I should actually go for the Sulfur Dune or not, or just leave it open, but choice has been made. What I might have to do instead is just send Lord Hart down here temporarily, just to act as a go-between. And we'll send Jeremy through. And with the cannon being very powerful in Jeremy's hands, this should be a pretty easy fight. Let's make sure we do pick up the spell points. And I think we can probably do this with no losses. They are pretty fast, that's kind of their thing. But this is actually not a bad map. We can definitely stop them from coming in from the south. And then it should just be the top stack coming towards us. I'm not sure if we can actually try and bait them away. So I'm going to move these guys down to the bottom in the hopes that we can bring this lower stack towards us that way, and then we can just focus on the top stack in the meantime. So yeah, it looks like they are going to fall for it. This should be pretty safe. They can't get morale, so it should just be a case of finishing them off. Okay, they do get the 1 kill, but never mind. Alright, so we're going to go for advanced tactics, and we're just going to push through and see what we can see, as it appears to be an unexplored snow zone, and we can see Tirith. Very weakly guarded, not a particularly desirable settlement, but even so, it's pretty easy to claim, and it will take us up to our 3rd settlement. Probably not really going to upgrade it, but might as well take it. It will at least be some extra income, if nothing else. Okay, they will come forward. I'm going to attempt to defend with my crewmates. I think they're going to be the most obvious target. We'll take out the big stack using our pirates. And these guys, 6 speed against 6 speed. Probably best not to overcomplicate this. We're just going to go defensive. These guys can't actually reach us, so we might as well just wait. Perfect. So we should have just enough movement points, I think, to actually reach this. As yes we do. And we're not expected to take any losses, so great, we've got a third town. Yeah, as expected, it doesn't come with a fort, it does come with a tavern. I mean, it doesn't come with a tavern, but it does come with an easily buildable tavern. So if we pick that up, we can then potentially pick up Fafnir, who does come with some ready-made tower units. I don't see why not. If nothing else, we can use him as a scout. So let's actually send him... I'm not seeing a great direction to go in. There's no obvious way through to this. We can see that this leads to a shipyard. What we could do is we should have enough movement points that we could actually go onto the water. But we don't actually know if there's anything good on there. Still, 1,000 gold, 10 wood, we've got 36 wood. Let's just do it, let's see what we can find. There should be at least something lying around there, and if nothing else we can scout it. And then Rashka. Can't really remember what I was going to do with Rashka. I think we do have quite a lot to explore down to the south, so let's just go in this direction. Lord Hart I could send through to do some more scouting. I suppose one thing I need to consider is I did mention in the previous part that I do see necromancers. Normally you don't want necromancy on any hero except a Necropolis hero, but I did mention that I think they can work okay on conflux towns, or at least with conflux compositions. So I could actually train up Nagash instead, and I could have a think about sending Lord Hart through, and potentially using him as a bit of a tower hero, because the other thing about Lord Hart is being a knight, he starts off with leadership, so, I mean, I'm overthinking this, but it doesn't really make sense to have a knight leading a conflux army. Like I say, probably overthinking that, but still. We're going to go through, and we are going to... I think we can do this. Let's just open this up. Yeah, no losses expected, perfect, so we can push a little bit further, we'll pick up the gold, and we'll just see what we can see. So we can see some horned demons guarding a Pandora's box. That could be tough. If it's 50, I think it's fine. If it's 99, it's going to be a lot harder than the previous fight with the Hellhounds. So I'm not sure how to feel about that. What I might do instead is just go for the sprites. It is kind of tempting to send Jeremy across to take that instead, but I think with the snow penalty it's probably better just to not risk it. So I have to decide what to actually explore in Nagash, and I'm very tempted just to go to the west and to open all this stuff up. Because there's quite a lot of gold lying around. The real kind of downside to that is, of course, we are going to be very slow moving across swamp. We could get a bit bogged down, but I think it's probably worth it. And then with our 9k left in the bank, we're going to go back to this town. We are going to pick up the Citadel. And we're going to go back to this town. Altar of Earth does not cost anything really except sulfur. We do have a good source of sulfur, so that's... I mean, it's not really a priority, I think. Garden of Life at least could help us next week. And it only costs 1,000, and we do have a strong economy, so I think we should go for that. And outside of that, I think we've done enough for this turn, so let's just skip ahead. Still no sign of our opponents, so that's probably a good thing. Okay, so it looks like there's no one on the water yet. So hopefully we can claim ourselves some easy resources. And I'm pretty sure... I don't really know my water map objects very well, but I think that's like the equivalent of the Redwood Observatory, so definitely a good thing to go for. And actually... Lookout Tower actually requires the fort, I didn't realise that. That's not ideal. With it being day 7, I could try and get something else, but no, I think Town Hall does make sense. I don't think either of these are worth recruiting. Okay, no sign of estates, so let's just head back to base. Let's send the Gash into the swamp. I'd probably rather keep Jabarcus back for now so that we can pick up some units next week. So I think what I might do is... yeah, I don't really want to take the fight with the Seamen, so I'm gonna just push slightly into the swamp. So I think, yeah, we do want to go southwest first, pick up the 2 chests from the dwarves, and then we can come back. Probably don't really want to take the fight with Horde of Halflings particularly. Okay, these guys are going to flee, there's no point taking that fight, it's worth almost no experience. We'll go for the chest, and we'll pick this up, as it does not give us any more estates, but never mind. We'll move back towards the path, and we'll send Jeremy up. I'm not sure we want to go for this, and I don't really feel like sacrificing another hero for it, so I think we'll just move on. Hoping we can just push through to another zone. This should be doable with very few losses. I'm going to actually send these forward as bait. So it looks like they are kind of falling for it. So one thing we do get, of course, is the disrupting rays will stack. So if we did want to hold back on our ammo, we could probably just do more damage to these as the fight goes on, but only 20 of them left, so we should be fine. There we go. Perfect. We're going to go for expert artillery. I don't really want to go for diplomacy. I've already kind of gone over which skills I'm looking for. So this is going to cause our cannon to inflict triple damage, which is going to be about a 50% damage increase on what we're already doing. So yeah, at this point our cannon is extremely good. And this seems actually quite open. Not sure what to make of that. And then going back to our towns, we don't really have too much ore. So there's not a huge amount we can do in our Cove town. If we go over to the Conflux town, could get the Altar of Thought, and I think that's probably our best option. And then back in this town, let's just go for the upgraded Nymph Waterfall, it's pretty cheap. And we do have 6k left in the bank, so I think we can pretty safely go and pick up a few extra units. Even so, I'm not sure I want to take this fight. Okay, Horde of Halberdiers guarding some sulfur. We should be pretty much fine for sulfur from now on. We have 25 mercury, so not really a priority to go for this, but it does let us scout slightly further. I suppose I will go and just look a little bit more, as there appears to be another swamp biome to the south, but I'm not sure how we can get in. And then Jabarcus we're going to leave here for another turn, and I think that's probably fine to end the week. Okay, astrologers proclaim the week of the Badger. We've not set up a hero chain. I am going to go for the attack. And we can see a horde of nomads guarding a Pandora's box. Again, if this is 50, it's fine. If it's 100... we do have expert artillery, so I'm pretty tempted. I think this is doable. Yeah, we got 8 attack. I'm gonna go for it. So there are actually 76 in total. Let's see what we can do. We do, of course, also have tactics on our side, and they're gonna have a hard time pushing through from the south. So if we can kind of bait them. I mean, that kind of leaves us a bit exposed. I think I'll just leave that. Frostring is going to do 75 points of damage. We can only go for 1 stack with that. If we go for slow, I'm not sure we can really stop these from reaching us in 2 turns. I think possibly we can. So let's go for that. Okay, so cannon's not doing too much damage from afar. We're not going to be able to go for a full powered shot here. I think I'm actually going to defend. Yeah, so the crewmates could take a bad hit as they do get morale, which is not what we want. They've already broken through the crewmates. This is not too great. Still no good target for Frostring. $80 points of damage from Magic Arrow, that's pretty cheap. If we go for Bless, it's going to increase our damage by a lot. I think that's got to be the best option. Okay, so they're actually going to go for the cannon, and they do less than 50 damage, so that's actually looking okay. In terms of their unit order, it's the 11 stack going next. I still don't really want to use my shots on them, so we'll take these out first. Weaken these a little bit. Should be able to move one of our 3 1 stacks across the block. And let's just weaken them. Okay, so they do go forward, they do take out one of our 1 stacks, but we're able to finish off the nomads up close. And they get a double turn, so they take out quite a few of our nymphs. But that's probably going to be worth it, I think. And we can get our spell points back if we keep pushing. And then returning to this base, I want to prioritize recruiting units first. And we're some way off being able to actually reinforce our main. So I think we're going to focus on this town first. As yeah, that's all our gold gone. We can't quite reach Nagash. Unless we push through the Seamen, which I think is probably our best option. Let's actually tuck these in. Although, they are going to be good for crossing the swamp, so maybe not. I'm going to trade some of this. And we're just going to pick up a few sprites. I think this should be fairly safe. We do have 4 attacks, so we're going to be doing a decent amount of damage. We have a good stack of Storm Elementals, and we've got some pretty tanky stacks in general. These guys are 8 speed, these guys are 6. So yeah, I think we should be fine. Okay, yeah, definitely worth going for. Let's see what we get. Frostring again. Okay, never mind. We're not able to quite reach Nagash, but we're close enough. So let's just take all the units. And let's make a push towards the chests. This should be an easy fight. I think it's worth doing for the XP. And actually, Should probably leave at least one stack open, so I can pick up some skeletons. Lots of dwarves I think should be an easy fight. So I could have used another one stack, but never mind. Okay, so I can send these up to attack. I think it's better if I just wait for one more turn. Okay, these guys come forward, we should be able to take most of them out, or at least half of them. And then these guys are now in range. I think we should go for these instead. And we'll weaken these too. And with these, I think best option is just going to be to wait. Ah crap, so they do get morale, but they don't actually manage to get a kill. There we go. Okay, so no losses, and we only get one skeleton from that. So yeah, you can see how badly Necromancy has been nerfed in Horn of the Abyss. Once we get up to Expert States, it should be a little bit better. Okay, so Lord Heart we're going to send just up to Scout. See what we can find to the east. Okay, so actually it looks like blue is about. So that's actually kind of concerning because there's a good chance that Lord Heart could get taken out if someone comes to rush him. We probably need to try and build this up. So we do have Kasmitra, who is going to come with a good stack of units, and Gundula, who's always a good option as a backup. I think what I'd like to do is I'm going to pick up Kasmitra. And we're gonna, because we know that blue is somewhere nearby, we're gonna try and set up some kind of chain. So let's send her as far along as we can. And let's just see what we can do with this guy. So we do get a bit more ore, which is great. And this does indeed reveal a bit more of the map, as this definitely has been opened up. But I think just by a scout, because whoever they weren't strong enough to take on pixies, gnolls, and imps, so they decided just to run off instead. But that should give us some clue of who our next opponent could be. As for now at least, doesn't appear there's actually any way to land. But there is actually quite a lot floating around, so this probably was worth buying the boat. Dargem should be able to join the chain, so let's just move him up in this direction. And then Rashka is also able to join the chain. If blue does have a scout hero, we might be able to scare them off by sending Rashka up. And then we don't have any gold left to buy any buildings, but I think that's okay for day one, so we'll end the turn there. Okay, so it's actually red, and we can see that the monolith takes them right to the east of the map. And we can also see that blue is to the northeast as well. So we definitely want to go in that direction. First we'll pick this up, as that gets us 10,000 XP, and we are offered archery. So I have to choose now whether I'm going to go for logistics or earth magic, and I think logistics has been nerfed down to 20% instead of 30%. So I think I would rather take archery, just for the sake of doing 50% more damage with our pirates and our cannon. I think that's got to be worth it. We'll go for advanced armor. And 57 spell points I think is enough. I'm going to ignore the magic well. Although, if blue is anywhere, they should be along the path. And I don't have a great way to push through. I don't have any real kind of snow-friendly creatures. I don't really want to take on the sharpshooters. I've already kind of slightly moved in this direction, but it's, in the grand scheme of things, it's not too many movement points. I think I'd prefer just to keep pushing up. And I will go for this. And we can see a pack of Dendroids guarding the Equestrian's gloves, which will go at least some way towards making up for the lack of logistics. There's a good chance that blue is to the west because we can see that swamp. Looks like they potentially emptied it out a bit as well. So yeah, I'm pretty confident they're to the west, but we are going to go slightly in this direction just for the sake of picking up the Equestrian's gloves. I forgot to split my units, but that's fine, we still managed to win. And yeah, we picked up the Equestrian's gloves, so it should be able to move quite far next turn. I'm going to try and pull Lord Hart to safety towards the tower town. As yeah, as expected, we're getting really bogged down in the swamp. I'm actually pretty tempted just to let the Hellhounds go so I can travel slightly further. But I don't think it matters too much. Okay, so am I willing to risk Dargem for the sake of scouting? I wouldn't mind trying to get the Vampire's Cowl back to Nagash. Yeah, I think if anything I'd prefer to risk Rashka. Okay, no sign yet. Let's just check this again. So yeah, they're pretty much directly north. I'm fairly confident it's a scout. Whoever it is, they've not been here long. And they've left some gold behind. So we are now able to pick up the Nyx fort. I don't think there's a big rush to do that before the end of the week. I think my preference... Because we have lost all of our crewmates, we can now pretty safely go for this. First priority, of course, is to pick up more pirates, and we'll follow that up with sea witches. And what little we have left, we're going to spend on acids. And we're going to need to tuck someone into a town, so let's just send Dargem over to this. And then returning to this town, we can take Ain out, and I don't think we can actually reach. Not quite, but pretty close. So Kosmitra is going to take those units. I think it's fine to leave one acid behind just to be a scout. And I'm pretty sure we can reach next turn. And if blue does have a scout, then I'm pretty sure they're not going to be strong enough to take on Kosmitra, so I think that's all fine. We're going to move towards the sea chest, and that is all of our heroes' movement points spent, and also all of our resources spent, so let's just end the turn. Yeah, red does have quite a few heroes, appears to be one of the Cove towns. And whoever that is, I think they don't want to fight us. Actually, it's Zilar, and he has some Nyx. Let's check this out. So definitely in terms of stats, we're the strongest. We have the most towns, not too surprising. We have the most heroes, also not too surprising. Yeah, so Zilar is actually the strongest blue hero. I think I'd rather go for his town. The problem is he might be able to take our tower town. But then again, we have enough left over to build a fort. So I think we can take the risk. So yeah, this is definitely his starting zone. And we can actually reach it this turn. It's actually pretty tough. Yeah, so he's just stocked that up. So what I think I'll do instead is I will send Kosmitra up. I could have chained them together from the start of this turn, but I don't think it matters too much. He's already bought all of his units for the week, so let's just go for this instead. Let's get us an extra level, which gets us expert tactics. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a hard time drawing him out of there. Okay, fortunately no morale. Yeah, as you can see, the pixies are pretty much the only ones affected by the skeleton's presence. We're gonna go for... Let's go for basic wisdom just in case this guy does get good. And for now, let's try leaving Nagash with just a nymph. We can travel slightly further. $1,500 gold for that. Yeah, I think it was worth coming onto the sea. I'm gonna move Rashka back because I think if he doesn't come to kill us, which he probably will, but if he doesn't, these could be decent reinforcements in Tirith. And yeah, I am really tempted to go for the fort. Then I could go into the citadel pretty cheap. I'm hoping I will have at least 2 more turns to make that decision, because he is going to be pretty slow over the snow. So yeah, we'll keep focusing on this for now. I'm going to go for the... I'm not too keen to spend my ore, that's the thing. Mage Guild level 2 is at least kind of reasonable, and then the upgraded Tower of the Seas is pretty doable. So I think we'll do that for now. And then over in our Conflux town, similar dilemma, I don't really want to spend ore. But we don't have great options. Pretty much everything costs ore. The upgraded Altar of Earth is fairly cheap, but it's really not a priority at all. So I think what I'll do is I'll start upgrading the Mage Guild in this town, because if we are going to upgrade any Mage Guild, that's probably the best one we can go for. As this appears to be a dead end. Moving to the south, we've got an Alchemist lab, or a Warlock's lab even. Pretty heavily guarded. But actually some pretty good stuff if we sent Jeremy. Yeah, I think for now that should do. Okay, so this guy actually comes out to attack us, and we're expected to lose pretty badly. It's actually Eovacius, and he seems to be pretty good. Yeah, I don't really have enough for this. The thing is, by doing that, he has given me a very easy way into his town. Okay, so he's cloned those two. That's gonna be a problem. I'm not sure who they're gonna go for. Of course, it does make sense just to shoot them straight away. I think I like surrendering here. I would have preferred to do it before I lost my 4 Sea Witches, but that's actually completely fine because that means we can take his starting town. Which is, yeah, there's still some defense there, but it's not much. And what I can then do is, yeah, there will be some heavy losses. But we can then pick up the rest of our units straight away. Okay, so they're actually going to focus down the nymphs. That's not what I expected. So our spells are pretty strong. We are actually just strong enough to take out a Nyx with a magic arrow. And we can then focus these down. I think we're going to wait for now. Actually landed in the moat. I'm surprised by that. Also, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense that a nymph gets killed by that, but okay. I think I'm just going to shoot the crewmates. I mean, these can come forward and attack, but I think one Stormbird shouldn't get too many kills. There we go. Yeah, so we lost the nymphs, but that's fine because we can just use Oceanids instead, and we can then pick up Casimitra once again. Get at least one of our Sea Witches back, and an extra Pirate. And this is actually not as upgraded as I thought it would be. It does have a lot of dwellings, but all in all it's not that great. So I think the move I like here is actually to take all the Pirates, and then we're actually going to take the chance to upgrade them into Corsairs. Which is pretty expensive, but these guys... Okay, they still only have 4 shots. I was hoping they'd go up to 8. That doesn't help me too much, but I think they're a little bit stronger. And of course there's no enemy retaliation, which is not a massive help, but still. It's an upgrade. So we're going to pass everything back to Jeremy with the exception of the nymphs and the gremlins. And we're going to split these up into a kind of token defense. I think we should have enough movement points to go to this and come back. There is a chance that there are more scouts to the west, so I need to be a bit careful of that. But yeah, I think most of the scary stuff is going to be to the east, so we're going to go over to Eovacius. And we're just going to split these up as much as we can. And because we do have the Equestrian's Gloves, we should be able to chase down Eovacius pretty easily. And then over with Nagash and Jabarkus. We're going to start by sending Jabarkus up just to attack the Elementals. This might not be too fun if they have Storm Elementals, but should still be pretty winnable, so let's do it. You're going to try and flee, that's perfect. Just pick up the chest. And we'll see how far Nagash can go with just the nymphs. Oh wow, there's quite a few more than I expected. Okay, so they come straight across. Fortunately, they go straight for these. They couldn't actually reach the Storm Elementals, but that has actually worked out pretty well. So Magic Arrow is going to do 40 points of damage, I think. We do just want to focus down the Dragonflies. And let's try and block these as best we can. Yeah, this might have been a mistake, but I think it can work. So these things blessed are extremely good. We're going to take heavy losses, but we will open up a level 4 spell. If we get really lucky, it could be Town Portal. I think this is worth it. Yeah, that was maybe not the best move, but it does give us access to a lot of gold. Yeah, I should have checked that more. I thought it would be lots. It was a horde instead. That kind of sucked. But we've kept most of our more important units alive. We've got all of our psychic elementals still alive. We've got most of our storm elementals, so I think that might actually be worth it in the end. And then things are actually looking pretty safe over here. Even Rashka seems okay for now. I think we'll just go for the gold. And let's just see what else we can claim from the water. Okay, so we'll keep looking for more chests. And I don't think there's too much we can do with Lord Hart. I could try and set up another chain. Okay, so day 4, we've still got 3 more days to build up in this town. We definitely want a castle, and we definitely want a Nyx fort. And then I don't think Maelstrom is realistic. But it's not beyond us. So I think we will start going towards that as our first priority. Main thing we need is gold. These guys haven't actually got a capital. So we're gonna have to find some somewhere else. What I'm hoping is, if we go over to all of this stuff, if we go and pick up these 2 gold piles, that might just about give us the boost we need. And yeah, apart from that, I think we should try and hang on to as much gold as we can, so let's just end the turn. We do have till the end of the week, so I think we should be okay. Okay, so Blue's 2 heroes are pretty much in the same place, which is perfect. If we're lucky, we can get both at once. So yeah, Eovacius is now stronger than Zillar, but Zillar should be pretty easy. I'd like to chase down Eovacius, but I think we do have to go for this guy. Okay, so those losses don't look too bad. Let's see if we can do slightly better. This guy does actually have a cannon. But I don't think it's going to be a massive threat. Biggest threat in this first round is most likely the Stormbirds. Nyx with morale could get across in 3 rounds, but yeah, not really a big threat. We could use this opportunity to take out the pirates. I think I prefer to kill them with Magic Arrow. We'll take these out because they're the biggest threat. And let's weaken these just in case. Wow, yeah, so we're actually strong enough to take out 2 Nyx with just 1 shot, so that's perfect. These guys are now safe to go across and attack pretty much anything they please. we go for the nymphs, they are going to be able to counterattack, which is not ideal. I think I prefer just to go for these. And then we can't necessarily avoid the nymphs unless we go all the way back, but yeah, I think that's our best move. There's a good chance he flees here. Then again, I don't think he has a town, so this should be okay. Yeah, definitely no town, so that's still gone. We should take, yeah, a few artifacts from him, including the Talisman of Mana, which is good because that's going to take us towards the Wizard's Well. And we can also see the Ring of Vitality, which can join up with the Vial of Lifeblood. And we could be on our way to the Elixir of Life as well. Okay, so Eovacius is going to get away for one turn, which I think is fine. And we're already up to 12,600, so yeah, I think it's pretty much a given that we're going to get the Maelstrom before the end of the week. The other big question is, can we go towards it on this town as well? That would be huge. And I feel like we're very close. I am going to risk going for the Roost here. If we have to trade for resources, I think that's fine. But I think what I'll probably do is I won't go for the Pyre yet. Okay, nothing from that. Try this. Okay, starting to get a bit unlucky. No sign of any more chests. So I could check out what the Guard of the Black Tower is. I'm not sure that's going to be an easy enough fight. Just one green dragon. That's actually pretty tempting. I might actually come back and take that on. Okay, so that spell turns out to be Berserk, which is not bad. That could actually come in pretty handy. Because next week we can get the Magic University, and we can actually go for the Fire Magic skill on Nagash. That could actually work. I'm not sure how seriously we're going to take Nagash, to be honest. I think we're doing fine without him. We're kind of using him just to pick up a few resources, but I'm not sure he's going to get genuinely that strong, but still. I could go Scout. I think I should be safe just to check this out. Okay, so Forgetfulness is not too bad, more useful if we had Water Magic. And then outside of that, I think I would prefer just to save up my resources. We can move towards the City Hall here, so we might as well do that. And so yeah, we still have a few days left to build up our towns. And I don't think I actually checked out what that hero has. I'm very confident it's just a Scout, but let's just double check. Yeah, Brissa, very weak. Shouldn't be a threat. Okay, so this is going to give us +1 HP on our Oceanids, which is pretty useful for them, but we've pretty much run out of them, so it's not going to make a big difference. We don't know exactly where Eovacius has gone, but I'm pretty confident we can chase him down. I'm tempted to stop off at the crypt. But let's leave it for now, let's just try and chase him down. Okay, so we found him, we can't quite reach him this turn. Could go and get some more defense, but no, I think the best thing we can do is just corner him. Okay, so he's actually taken a rampart town. And we're not quite going to be able to block him off. Yeah, there's nothing we can do about that. I think best thing we can do is just move straight towards it. It's not got a moat, so it's not got a citadel, so it's not going to do too much damage to us. And in fact, he might have just built the fort, which if anything is probably a good thing for us. Okay, so this reveals the Ring of Life, so yeah, we can definitely get ourselves the Elixir of Life if we want to go out of our way for that. Outside of that, this is mostly a dead end, unless we want to take on a horde of Crusaders, which I don't think I do. So out of these two heroes, Eovacius might actually be the better choice to take on the Black Tower. So if I take these units, I'm not going to be able to reach anymore, so I guess it doesn't really matter too much either way. I would prefer to train up Nagash. So let's just give Nagash the better units. And let's just keep Eovacius nearby. Rashko we're just going to keep scouting with, and Lord Hart should be pretty safe where he is, should be able to reinforce pretty quickly, as over in this town we are very close to getting the Maelstrom. Could actually go capital first. Go ahead and get the Maelstrom. And then back in our starting town. I think we have a good chance. Yeah, 8k per turn. And we might be able to find something else with Fafnir. If we're lucky. Okay, so we found a sea chest and the Temple of the Sea, which is kind of like the sea equivalent of the Dragon Utopia. It's guarded by sea serpents and hydras. So, would potentially be an option for a main, but it's just very hard to justify actually sending a main onto the water on these types of maps. That's the thing. Kasmitra, I'm really tempted to send out just to try and pick up a few resources. I think what I'll do is I'll take the risk. I'm not sure we've actually got a way through. I suspect probably not. Yeah, that's a bit of a block. Okay, so I definitely want the second Maelstrom. I've got the castle and I should be able to trade to guarantee the second Maelstrom. And if we take on the Black Tower next turn, I think that should be enough. Over here with Jeremy we've also got potentially access to a Dwarven Treasury and even a Naga Bank, which might be kind of overdoing it. But we can also pick up a chest from defeating the Harpies. So yeah, I'm feeling fairly optimistic that we can go into next week with a big batch of Sea Serpents, as, okay, I did not expect this guy to go aggressive, he seems to do that a lot. So we're going to lose this hero, which is completely fine. Because that pretty much just means his Rampart Town is undefended, or pretty close to it. And he's going to take some resources that I would have preferred to keep myself, but never mind. Okay, so we want to try and save as many movement points as possible, just so we can chase this guy down. I'm fairly confident we can. In the absence of an arrow tower, I didn't really need to split these units, but never mind. Perfect. Okay, so we've taken this town. I'm pretty confident we're not going to find another scout to the west. We're 7k short of... We're 7k short of the Maelstrom. but I think first priority has to be to take out Eovacius. I might try and go by the crypt. Let's see how it's looking with our movement points. Yeah, we should have enough. It's a very weak crypt, but it's better than nothing. Okay, no losses expected, that gets us 1,500, and yeah, as I thought, we can still reach Eovacius. So let's finish him off. Okay, so some losses expected, nothing necessarily too bad, but I think we should play it safe. Got a nice defensible location. Okay, so this should be very difficult for them to push through. He's only got 4 spell points left, so he's not going to be able to cast Clone. If we go for Frost Ring, we can do some decent damage to 2 stacks. Fireball is pretty similar. And Magic Arrow is going to do the most. I think our best option is probably just to bless the Corsairs. Okay, so these guys are going to get between 9 and 22 kills, so if we go for Bless, we'll pretty much wipe out that stack in one go. And then we can take these out, or at least do a lot of damage to them. The cannon can probably finish them off. They do have quite a few Sea Witches. But yeah, I think that's fine. It's okay, these guys edge slightly closer. These guys I can send forward to attack, but I think we're okay just staying defensive for now. Okay, so these guys, I think I'd prefer just to wipe these out because they're the biggest threat. The Nymphs could come through, but they're going to need morale to really threaten us. And the Nyx, likewise, could cause us some problems if they get morale. But it's a lot easier to kill these, so we're going to focus on these first, as neither of them get morale, so that's perfect. So we should be able to take them out pretty easy. Okay, so we get the double attack on those, and we can do 80 points of damage with our Magic Arrow. So let's weaken these a bit. Pull these back, and let's wipe these out first. Weaken these, and actually we take them out, so that's Eovacius gone. Almost no losses there. And we can go straight onto the Medusa stores, which will be a bit of extra gold. This formation isn't great, but that's fairly weak. Okay, so we don't yet have mass haste. I probably should have split the Corsairs, thinking about it now. Okay, perfect. So we get morale with these. These guys are going to go before these guys, so that's all good. Let's focus on these next. Weaken these a bit so they can't take out our acids, and I must have misjudged that slightly, but never mind. Just Magic Arrow these. Magic Arrow these as well. Go over and attack, and finish them off. Yeah, I'm fairly happy to take those losses. We go up to level 16, we get Expert Wisdom, 2,000 more gold, and that is all our movement points gone with this guy. So we might have to do a little bit of trading. We can get through to the Black Tower. I'm not sure if we still can if we go for the Magic Well, but I think I'll risk it. Because yeah, we should still be able to do that fine. So let's swap these back around. Yeah, so just double checking this, Eovacius doesn't have tactics. Neither does Nagash. I think I do want as many stacks as possible. So let's give another nymph. This might be a mistake, but let's just do it. So yeah, we're expected to take a lot of losses there, unfortunately. Let's see what we can do. So they don't rush forward. I think they've started just by waiting. Yep, so they're going to go last. They're going to try and go for the double turn. Will be hard to stop them because of the breath attack. If we were to haste these, we would take them from 7 speed up to 10 speed, so that's not quite enough. Although, as we are the attacker, I think we should go first next turn. Yeah, so that gives us the first turn next round, so we'll just try and do as much damage to these as we can. We'll send these forward. I think they can take a hit. Okay, so they don't actually come to attack us. If we were to go for Bless on these, that's going to take up their damage by quite a lot. And they can't actually reach our Storm Elementals, so that's perfect. They just go forward to those instead. We have a chance of getting the kill here. I think it's against us. Yeah, slightly against us. And I don't think I can bait them away from attacking the Storm Elementals, unfortunately. And they will get to go first next time round. Okay, so we'll take a few losses on the Storm Elementals, but it's probably worth it. As actually, okay, so they decide to go for a Skeleton instead. Makes things very easy for us, and we take no significant losses from that. Gets us the Scales of the Greater Basilisk and 2,000 gold. And I think at this point we can start moving back towards our Conflux town. Probably can take on the Halflings, that wouldn't be too bad. We're up to 13,000 gold. We just go to the sea chest. Unfortunately it is empty. And the Flotsam is also empty, so that kind of sucks. See if we can find some more gold. So, blue has not been wiped out, but Brissa is their strongest hero, which to me suggests Brissa is probably their only hero. So I'm going to assume it's safe just to go and scout this a bit more. Hopefully find some gold. Great, so yeah, we do get another 500 gold. And let's just keep scouting. We'll return to this base, and we just need to get ourselves another 1,000 gold. So we'll trade 7 mercury, we don't really need that too badly. And then we're slightly short of wood and ore, which again should be a fairly easy fix. Should have actually checked the Rampart Town first, as we do actually have a marketplace here, so yeah, that was all fine. I don't really mind trading away most of my mercury, I don't think it matters too much. So we'll return to this base, and that gets us our second Maelstrom, so we're going to have 3 Serpents here as of next week. In our second Cove Town, likewise, we're going to have 3 Sea Serpents. So potentially up to 6 Serpents from next turn. We've pretty much taken out another one of our opponents, and we at least know where red is. Even if we don't necessarily know the way onto their lands. Map doesn't really help us too much in terms of landing. There's no point going for that shipyard because it's just going to take us onto the same lake, if you want to call it that. But I think we've done enough for this part, so thanks for watching guys, I hope you enjoyed. In the next part we're going to be trying to hunt down our next opponents, and hopefully putting together a proper Cove force. But yeah, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.